Alright, this should be recording. So today hit a pretty good trade. And this video is just gonna be me going over it. I actually hit the trade on my TopStep account. So yeah, it was my first time using TopStep because I need to use it to copy trade my other account. I didn't end up copy trading my accounts anyways because one of my accounts is still processing that payout. So I only traded the one account, but it's whatever. So this is what the trade was today. So going into the day, let me just mark out market open. It's right here. Okay. So going into the day, I was looking at the 4-hour time frame. I don't have bar replay anymore, but keep in mind this is all non-existent. Those are executions from I don't know when. I think market order. So there's this new week opening void right here that I was expecting price to move up into. I said that in my video yesterday. We could see a potential move up and then a move down, or just keep moving up. But yeah, I did say that yesterday, so it's nice to know I was right. So we've got this void gap right here that we could potentially move into. We also have these lows all the way over. Let me squeeze this back to the 4-hour, maybe even daily. All right, yeah, we have these lows right here that I was also talking about. Maybe those will get swept or something. So yeah, that's basically it on that. There wasn't really any crazy hourly or 4-hour fair value gaps, I remember. There was this hour fair value gap that's after. So let me go back down to 5-minute. So that's the void that we were looking to maybe go up to today. But this morning, so I can get rid of this now. All right, so this morning, right, market opens and just dumps. Okay, it's huge down close candle, all the way down to here, right? And with that, we leave behind this little 5-minute fair value gap, right? Okay, so we got this 5-minute imbalance right here that we could expect to get filled. Or maybe what I'm looking for is a reaction out of this to take shorts, or an inverse of this to take longs. Yeah, and also with that we have this 15-minute fair value gap right here, right there. So that's another point I would want to see us break above before we would go long, and all that good stuff. So yeah, so I ended up taking shorts. This move wasn't the best move to catch, but I caught it anyways, and it was all right move to catch. So we come down, we dump down, and I'm like, all right, we can't move this far down without a little retrace up, so maybe we'll come fill this and move further down. And as we start to fill this big imbalance right here, move this, we leave behind this 5-minute gap. All right, this morning gap right here. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, price is going up. We could refill this 5-minute gap to move higher if we don't respect these. But ultimately, I want to see us respect these, then just a pullback. I didn't think it would pull back this far into the 5-minute, but so yeah. So then I'm on the 3-minute. Like, I really just read price action today. It wasn't really any crazy setups or anything. I just read price action. It's kind of hard to explain. I'm going to start screen recording my trades and live trading them, and I could post that, like a sped up version of me actually in the trade. So we have these. This is on the 3-minute. We're trending upwards, and I'm just waiting for either this whole thing to get inverse to pull back to go further, but it never actually did inverse. And then, as well as that, I go on to ES, and at the time, the S&P 500 was already way above these highs, right? You can see here, this is right down here. This is the 1009 candle right here, and it's already above the 9 o'clock candle, versus we go here to the NASDAQ. The 9 o'clock candle is all the way up here, and the 1009 candle is all the way down here. So the NASDAQ, or the S&P 500, is way ahead right now. And I'm thinking maybe there's going to be a little rebalance of price to come back down into here. And yeah, so I don't know why all this just loaded all of a sudden. Maybe I was on the wrong thing. Nah. Okay, yeah, so anyways. So I'm waiting for a rebalance down. I think we are going to rebalance down because there's a huge SMT divergence. We could rebalance maybe just even this 5 minute before pushing higher. So what I should have done realistically was waited for this 5 minute to get filled right here, as you can see, and then taken longs out of it. That would have played out really nice. But that was just also just I would have had to wait for later in the day, which I don't really have because I have class going on. I have a second period class, so instead I decided to take shorts down to this, and one of my confluences, we inverse this 3 right here, and with that inverse we create this 3, and so now I'm scrolling down the 1 minute to see if that 3 is going to get tapped into. Let me go over here. Alright, so I'm going down to see if that 3 minute is getting tapped into, which would be right here, and I see this wick right here up and then a wick down, and I'm like, like I don't think price is going to come all the way up here to fill before we go down to push into this 5 minute gap to fill more buy orders. So I set my limit order just kind of in the medium of this wick. I kind of just set my limit orders at what seems like attainable for price to reach, I guess, if that makes sense. So yeah, I ended up getting filled right here for shorts on Tradevate, which yeah, ended up getting filled right here for shorts, and I took the move all the way down, not that far, not to that last candle, but just to right, yeah, like right there. I'm pretty sure it was like a 1 to 2.06, yeah. So ultimately, like, yes, the trade hit, but I could have definitely just been more patient and taken longs out here, because as you can see, that was the main move, was longs. When price is like choppy like this and moving slower, it's usually a sign that price isn't wanting to go that direction, but it just is for this little amount of time before it fills a bigger order to push up. Because as you can see, after we push this up, the next moves are much bigger than this little chop down. So I definitely should have waited for that 5 minute to get either inversed, then taken shorts, or for the reaction to take longs out of it. But instead, I kind of jumped the gun and just took shorts down to it, which I'm not mad about. Like, all this stuff going on inside the 15 to 5 minute fair value gap is just extra confirmation, right? We get a break below this candle wick low with this 1016 candle, and then there's this new fair value gap, this imbalance, and price isn't yet pushing up into it. I don't think it fully will. Sometimes you just have to read price action. If you get a reaction candle like this, right, like this one with a wick, it's obviously assuming like maybe price isn't going to go, like maybe price isn't going to come all the way up into this imbalance right here, fill that, and then dump down, right? Maybe it's just going to do this little wick up right here and then dump down. Because if it were going to go all the way up, this probably would have been a strong close green candle right here. And I would have waited for sure. That's probably one of the best things I've tweaked about my trading, is waiting for like a reaction candle or something. I just feel like it helps an extreme amount. We also inversed this 1 minute over here with this candle close, which was just extra confirmation, kind of telling me that we wanted to go a little lower maybe. Originally my take profit was all the way at the bottom of this 5, but so 1 to 3, but I moved it up to here just because I wasn't quite sure, and usually 1 to 2s work out really well for me. And I just didn't want to be greedy today, so I just cut the profits right there. It was like $800 or something. Too bad I didn't copy trade. If I copy traded my other account, it would have been $1,600 on the day, but I didn't copy trade because those funds are still getting taken out. So yeah, honestly, not much to talk about with this trade. It's an okay trade. I probably got pretty lucky, a little lucky in there as well in that chop. But I was patient in reading price action. I could have been more patient just to take longs out of that, but it's whatever. Tomorrow I'm definitely going to be more patient with it, and yeah, that's basically all I have to say about this trade. Also about Tradevate, I honestly love the executions on here because you can set this like wherever, and you get really good fills versus like sometimes like on TradingView your fills are kind of iffy versus Tradevate, the brokerage platform. The fills are actually really nice, and there's not really much slippage between the fills. So yeah, it can get filled pretty well and just take that down. So yeah, that was pretty much the trade that I took. It wasn't anything too crazy. Let me see if I can find out. Yeah, it was right here. I don't know why my execution arrows aren't on. Fills and orders. Show fills. I don't know. Usually it's like a little triangle right here. But anyways, yeah. So that was that trade. Took this choppy short when I should have waited for longs. Honestly, price action was kind of shitty today. Like if you really think about it, you look at the 5-minute market dumps, and then we just kind of chop around all the way until like around. I don't know why that says 10. Yeah, we kind of just chop around really until like 11ish. So I'm not mad about that trade, but I definitely could have been more patient to wait. But I am also glad I used the S&P 500 to see that SMT divergence and end up taking the shorts down to that imbalance, which was honestly a perfect take profit area because like if I held longer, it would have got stopped out of break even. I moved my stops to break even. And yeah, this was my first trade on the funded challenge. So we're already starting that off really well. And then, yeah, that's basically all I have for today. Tomorrow's news, I think, is, I'll have to look. Let me refresh this because one of my buddies told me that the news got changed from 10 to 8:30. Doesn't look like that at all. Let me see here. Oh, yeah, it's still at 10. Red folder's still at 10. So 30 minutes into market open, there's red folder. So I probably won't be trading that. It's probably not going to be enough time for a setup to play out. And if there is time for a setup to play out, it's just going to get messed up by that red folder. So I advise you guys all, if anyone is actually watching these, to not trade tomorrow unless it's after news, because obviously after news, yeah. And unless the news wick is just extremely small. Sometimes these red folder news candles don't even have to be that big, and it's just an all big fuss for nothing. But you don't want to assume that it's going to be one of those wicks, and then you get a huge wick like this tall, going right to the upside or the downside, and you had no control over where it goes. So yeah, just probably don't want to be in on that. That's basically all I have for this. I am going to start posting like live trading, I guess. I'm going to screen record my screen while I'm in the trade so you can actually see the P&L and stuff. I think it's pretty interesting. Like, you get filled here, you can see kind of I'm in drawdown a little, like down 100. My stop loss is at like 400. That's the one thing about Tradovate that I don't like copy trading is I have to manually enter my stop loss and take profit. So like $400 is a 20-point move on the NASDAQ. So I have to just like enter that in really quick and then put that down. But it's really not that bad. And it also just transfers over to TradingView. So it's really not that bad. I don't mind it. But yeah, that's basically all I have for this trading video, I guess. Just a little recap of the trade. So I hit a 1 to 2. It was a winning trade. I'm going to journal about it a little. But I definitely, one thing I can do better, just be more patient and wait for maybe the real move, because I wouldn't consider this even a move in the markets. It's just a chop to the downside versus taking longs out of it. Which I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't take that to the downside. I would have taken longs up. But yeah, we're just going to have to trade for tomorrow and don't get too upset about, the things you can't change. And yeah, that's really all I have to say. So peace.